Hello, Virgos. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing lovely. Good Lord, my thing is black today. I hope the speaker is working good because this thing is dark. Usually it be kind of like, you know, looking like it's not picking up my voice good. So excuse me if it goes in and out because I don't have a microphone and I might sound like I got air or something. And hopefully when I do the editing part of it, when I add a video to the voiceover, I have it where I cut the volume out, so excuse me if it sounds kind of ratchet because it takes a long time for this computer editor to re-edit because sometimes I have over 30 minutes, and if I have over anything over 20 or 30 minutes, it takes a long time for it to upload it, which means that I have to wait 30 minutes or an hour or so for it to upload in my editor from the computer, and then I have to turn around and have to upload it to YouTube, which takes another hour or so. So it seems like it's a long process of uploading stuff to from the editor to YouTube and stuff like that. So it just seems time consuming because I want to have everything as soon as I do it. Because back in the days when I first did YouTube, first time I got it, I did a video in one day and I could upload 12 videos in one day. And now I have to take 2 or 3 days for me to do the voice, I have to do the voiceover. Then I have to turn around and do the editors. And editors take up to 30 to hours and hours to upload a video. I remember I had one video that took an hour and 30 minutes to just compound, to compound it together. And it was like this stuff has to really come together because they have AI products, and it's like it should take about a second for things to come, to generate. But now it just seems like it's. I feel like I'm in the 1980s when it first come out. It just seems like it's on dial-up internet right here. Oh, it just get on my nerves. Some days it goes like a snap of a finger, and everything uploads to YouTube. Everything uploads to the editor with no problem. And some days it's just like, oh my goodness. I guess everybody's on the internet at the same time. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna start on your past, Virgo, and I'm gonna work to the future. And I know I'm rambling. I know you guys hate that. But I feel like any part of things that I'm saying is still relatable to anything that could be going on in your life. Because as you can see, you guys are earth signs. Earth signs have a tendency to move, drag slowly, in my opinion. So not all you guys probably do the same thing. Some of you guys are just beep beep bop bop, and want to get things together. Okay, so let's get on with your guys' reading. I'm gonna start for the past and work to the front. Also, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, I will be once I go live. I have enough subscribers to go live. I will be giving out free reads to those who are subscribed to my channel when I'm live. If you're not subscribed to my channel, there will be no free readings unless you're subscribed to the channel. Also, if you like a paid reading, you can also inbox me my email address and I'll get back to you. If you feel like I'm a scam, a spam because I don't show my face, and hey, just watch the video, the free ones. Hope there's enough information in there for you. I will also be starting a Patreon channel soon, not soon, whenever, my channel picks up. If it doesn't pick up, then what's the purpose, right? Because who would come, right? But anyway, once again, in the Patreon, I will a little bit more details than I am here because right now I have to skip over certain words. I don't want to say certain words because I don't know what YouTube allows with certain words because now they allow you to curse with certain words. So I'm trying to not say certain words in the curse word, but I'm also trying to give hints on what I'm trying to say so you can kind of fill the middle in. I know it's hard for everybody to be psychic readers, but at least try to help me out a little bit. That make it look so dumb and stupid. Like, huh? What you're saying? I don't get what you're saying. I know it's usually the kids that's younger that's be trying to play with you and play with your mind, but but hey, it is what it is. One day you grow up and you realize that no, I don't want you to fool me around with me. It beats like that. It beats like that. Feels like a trap. Okay, so Virgos, in your past, let's start off with that part. I feel like for some of you guys, this reading is going to be about love only, okay? So I will say that I will have certain things that will pop up, and I may ramble about it, but it's going to be basically about love and your children and family environment will be pretty much. And sometimes something that may come out, but basically my main agenda is to hit on love, okay? I'm trying to learn how to write down the main subject instead of just keep on doing my videos and have to figure it out because I have to listen to them 3 or 4 times before I get the main agenda of the video. So let's go. In the past, I feel like some of you guys walked away from love, or you want to figure out a way how to walk away from stress, a stressful relationship. Um, for some of you Virgos, I feel like you had more than one person, and I feel like that may have been a problem because it's been way too stressful. Because I think sometimes we think we can handle everybody because we got money, and I think once you have money, you feel like you can deal with everybody. But see, that's one thing about God. He don't play. Okay, when he say you don't follow the rules, he send the devil through you the quickness. And when the devil comes through, just like Job, he's a story that everyone should remember. Job is a story where people but Job was tested with a lot. The devil came in to test Job. And when he came in to test him, he put so much stuff on the plate with Job. He took away his family. He took away everything. He gave him souls all over his body. And all the things that he tested him with, I don't think we probably know all the magnitude of what Job encountered. But as humans, we could look at it and say we encountered a whole lot of stuff that we go through because we think that we ain't being tested and we not being judged or anything. But mainly it's tested because you can have 5 jobs and make all the money in the world with those 5 jobs. And right now, the 5 jobs is not impossible because you can have Amazon, you can have TikTok, you can have YouTube, you can have what else? A job where you sit back and do Target and all kinds of different things you can have now, and you have like 5 or 6 jobs that you're doing, and it's very easy nowadays to have that many jobs because of internet, and everything is can be swift and easy if you have the right programs to help you move things along pretty fast. Also, you can have very good internet, and you can also get things a lot of things quicker. But even in the midst of that, the devil will come in and test you and show you that hey, you ain't all that. I can slow all that stuff down. I can put a glitch in your program. Da 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 da. Hackers will come through and mess up all your money. Da da da. So it's always something going on, and it will make you feel like I got to get away from all of this stuff because I have 5 women who's nagging me. I got their kids, and then the kids are nagging me, and so now you have the job and the computer messing up. Everything is going malfunction, and you're trying to take care of this family, and you're trying to make this money, and you're trying to make sure somebody pay you. Also, you may try to make sure you sell the goods out of a certain amount of money. So all of this could be a lot of stress on anybody as a human being. And it makes you want to get away as far as you can. Or you may try to get your car fixed, your car didn't crank up because you didn't put no gas in it, or one of the wives or girlfriends had it, and you're like, you didn't put no gas in the car. Now I'm going to have to struggle to get to the gas station because I'm hoping and pray I make it to the pump, and you don't make it to the pump. And the car cuts off on you, so now you're stressed out, you're stuck in the street because the one of your wives or your girlfriends or your baby daddy drove the car without putting the gas in the car, or the children took the car, they didn't put in the gas in the car, and you know when teenagers drive a car, you know they're not going to put the gas in the car. So I feel like there's a lot of mountains of stress that comes upon you to handle to do, and that makes you want to get away from it all, right? So at the same time, you have to learn to be digress, which means that be humble in all things that you have, so that you don't get tested when you have too much of stuff. Because when you have too much of stuff, have too many kids, or you want too many kids, then you're gonna get tested with those challenges when you feel like I can handle it all. I got this, and God got me. Yes, God do have us all. You know, we won't be existing if He didn't have us, right? But at the same time, you have to learn how to be humble in all that you have. If you got one child and you feel like you can handle 2, then that 2 children is going to always put you through the test, through more tests than you can imagine being tested, because then you have to turn around and make sure you got to get up every morning, make sure you go to work, and make sure you turn around and come home and cook and clean up for them, and then make sure they have their homework and everything else done. Then when you become teenagers, you got another stage of life that you have to deal with. Then when they become adults, you still have to worry about what they're doing and try to rescue them if they don't have their head straight up. God forbid if you have fire and water kids, because those kids require you to take care of them for the rest of their life. And you may say, I'm not going to do it. They're going to get married. They're going to find somebody else. Well, you have to make sure that person that just taking care of them is not equally yoked. Like you don't have 2 fire signs with each other, or 2 water signs with each other, or fire and water with each other, because then all at the same time, you're going to still have to be the mama who's strong-headed and keeping their relationship together, because water and fire just have a steam pot going on. And some things they have is sex in common, and they don't actually have the communication that they need to have in this relationship. So sometimes you Virgos, you're going to deal with that if you're the mother of those signs water signs, fire signs. Air signs is kind of similar kind of way because they still need your advice on certain things, and sometimes they feel like they're just too tired to actually get it together, and they may need your opinion on certain things, But at the same time, they're a little bit more in control than water and fire signs type of children are. But at the same time, we all humans, we all forming the ball, we all not you're perfect as Jesus said as his son. So anyway, fire signs, I feel like some of you guys are getting your wishes, you're getting your hopes done, especially for what was in the past. So if it's like you probably needed your house clean, you probably got your house clean, or you needed your car clean, you got it, or you want to go to car dealership and you wanted you a new car, you're in. Lucky you got your car. Or things worked out and planned according to what you wanted. You wanted maybe some new children in your house and you got some new kids in your house. So the plan worked out in your favor, but did it really work out in your favor? Because the star card is saying we can wish for stuff, we can ask for stuff, but at the same time, those things that we gather in our life could be very challenging. You see what I'm saying? Because when you get those things, you want a child, and oh wow, I had a child, but teenager stage. Oh wow, I want a car, but the maintenance and all the stuff that goes with the car. Oh wow, I got a house, but the maintenance that comes with the house. And you may say, oh, you're speaking all this negative stuff out behind you. Well, you're not living in the real world. Okay, because the real world have things that actually happen that you have to prepare for. You can't always expect God to give everything so perfect because this is not heaven, this is earth, and things will bound to happen with your kids, whether you like it or not. Those things gonna happen. Why? Because we can't always be t. Just like I say, Job was known to be perfect in God's eyes, but so did the devil come along and test him. So the devil will test you, especially when Jesus came to earth after Job, not before, after. And he says, following in my footsteps. So therefore, if anybody walking this earth is not following in Jesus' footsteps, then you're going to be tested in all things that you're trying to do or live out of the circle of what God, his son, says. Which means Jesus says, if you want matches and glories and nice stuff, store them in heaven so nobody don't break in and come and steal from them. Know what you do. You get alarms and all kind of stuff around your house to make sure nobody don't break into them. You think you're going to be smart, not smart God, and then he'll send somebody who's a friendly snake in your face, and they're still right in front of your face, and that you have to overlook because you're friendly with them. You're laughing in their faces, right? So those same people that you're friendly with, they'll be the snakes that comes around and tick from you. Um, and hire and job people who you feel like you can trust the most, like you have your most highest love for them, and you thinking like, oh, I could trust these people working for me. No, they're snakes, and but I'm not talking about job. I'm trying to talk about home environments and things that you love, your kids, and vice versa. I feel like some of you Virgos, you're doing some research on somebody. You're probably either doing research on them or someone may be doing research on you, but I also feel like you guys are in a status where you're trying to gather too much. I feel like it's sort of like being a hoarder, and I think I talked about this the last time in Virgo's video, but I feel like you're getting way too many of one thing, and I feel like you're doing it, you're trying to be a safe keep. You got to have faith in God. You got to have trust in God that he feed the birds, so should he feed you. And when I say this, it's because it causes your house to get filthy, dirty, and nasty. If you got too many kids, it wear you out and you can't keep it clean, right? Or you have to wait somebody else out trying to help you keep it clean, and it becomes too stressful. And also, when you're too stressful, you can't think, right? And it causes body sickness or body illness, right? And how can you focus and pray to God? Because you won't be right in your mind. Your pearls and stuff will be kind of tainted. And I mean tainted just because you don't really have a clear spirit, because once you get this, oh Lord help me, you cussing somebody out, you cussing the children out, you're feeling kind of grouchy, and it's because you got too much on your plate that you have gathered and keep gathering, and it's causing you to be confused. God says, sweep your house, keep your house clean, keep the devil out. So that means if you're keeping your house overloaded with stuff and things and idol, you keep your ego big and you're paranoid, and so therefore the devil can't leave your house and he can't leave your spirit because you're so worried about whether or not somebody's gonna take something from you. Okay, so you can't rest if you're so busy worrying about the stuff you keep collecting. So what's it said? The Bible says there's no rest for the wicked. So are you part of the wicked team? Are you part of the team that's trying to keep it together? So sometimes you got to be mindful and think about some things you're doing. I feel like some of you guys were broken hearted about some kind of plans or someone's actions or someone's deeds, and it kind of pissed you off really bad, broken hearts to pieces. But I feel like you kind of trying to get it back together, but you still got that temper where you're just still kind of, how you're sitting back and you're still like, you see how an air balloon still got a little bit air in it, and I feel like you're still kind of pissed off about it, but it's like you talking to the person who pissed you off, but you kind of like keeping it like cool and casual, but in reality you still like, ooh, Ooh, I'm about to blow his balloon back up again. It's about to get hot and petty right here. I feel like you're fighting somebody, Virgos, and I feel like you're fighting over something that belongs to somebody else. I feel like you're in this competition where you feel like it belongs to me, it belongs to me, but in reality it belongs to somebody else. It don't really belong to you, Aries. I mean, Virgos. I say Aries. So you could be fighting with Aries. Oh, that's crazy, my niece. My cousin is Aries. So I feel like you're trying to be in competition with something that's not yours. I feel like it doesn't belong to you, and I feel like you're acting in a way where it should be yours, and in reality, it's like you really don't have nothing to do with this, but you're sticking your 2 cent in regardless. And I feel like you're being extremely petty and extremely out of place because when people have to raise their children on their own, I feel like that should be their choice. Let them do so. And if they mess up to the point where the kids come to you, then that's when you come back and you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's supposed to be. Da, da, da. You see what I'm saying? For me, when I was being raised by a water sign parent, I had to go and live with the earth sign when I was ready to live with the person, which means that there wasn't my parent, there was my mom's siblings, which means that when it was time for me to learn what I need to learn, I was in the right spot. So that means when it was time for me to learn how to be a woman, I was in the right spot. So right before it was time for me to have a PMS, I was in the right spot. And you may say, what you mean by that? It's because when I need to learn that this was going to happen to me and what I need to do for it and what I need to wear, I was in the right spot versus somebody, oh, I'm going to beat your butt for having a period. Oh, you just gross. You finna think you finna get pregnant in my house? And instead of this person telling me how to do with stuff, I didn't never know. My mama never told me how to use a pad. She never told me about my period. She never told me when I was going to have it. She never told me. She just yelled at me and made me feel like I was going to get somebody who get pregnant. You know, I'm not mad at her. I'm saying now what she is. I know she's a water sign. And I know sometimes she has this mindset of saying that what she did, I probably try to do. And my mom is very competitive. And so being that she's very competitive, I get her. And she's the type of person where she felt like I was gonna have a better life than her, so she was always trying to compete on the slide, and I didn't really know it. But I'm glad that I didn't entertain myself with life, because if I had I would have been brokenhearted and disappointed, trying to figure out why my mom slept with my man, why she did it, because she's constantly want to make herself feel like she's a good woman, a better person. Even though I'm her child, some water signs, as I said before, they don't see it like that. You know, they see it as if to say, you know, it's about me. Just like my niece mama, she's the same way. She's a Scorpio, and her daughter's a Cancer. And when you tell her daughter that she's pretty and she got long, pretty hair, yeah, I do too. Oh my God, my hair grew. Oh, and you looking like, what the hell? I'm talking about your baby. How did we get from your baby to a whole lifetime story about you? And I get what she's saying, that she's her mom and she get it from me, but I was expecting you to be putting on a whole hillbilly show like that. Like, what the heck? Okay. I'm, you know, and it's a way that you do stuff as a mom. And I know most moms do that when they have kids, but instead of giving her daughter the flow, she took the whole flow for herself and made the whole story about her. All she had to do is say, yeah, she got me and her daddy's hair, but honey, she be showing out. She thinks she misses da 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 da. Give her character a play. Don't give it a whole 100% play of you. And that's how my mama was. Every time somebody come and talk to me, my mama steps in and she takes the whole entire flow, and the whole conversation is about her. You see what I'm saying? So I love my mom to death, regardless of her flaws. And you know, it's my mom. She had me, and I'm a part of it. You know, and it's hard to hate your mom because once again, that's my mom. You know, I'm part of her. She's part of me. I'm a part of her. And you may say, well, you act the same way. Yeah, I'm so many years, and I hadn't acted that way in life. Only thing I always say is when I'm doing spiritual readings and stuff like this, I sit back and watch a lot of people do this, and I feel like some things that some people say, when it comes down to focusing on giving people amounts of money, don't ruin it for everybody who's doing spiritual work. Don't make me feel like I have to always get out there and tell somebody, oh, you finna win $1 million, or you finna do this. And they get mad because you ain't telling them about money, because they're struggling, they need money, or they want this guy to come back, and they want you to straight up tell you, No, I'm straight up telling you what's going on, what I see, what needs to be dealt with, how you felt with something in the past, whether or not this person come back to you or not. Everybody wants a reading of somebody come back to them. There's 1,000 readers that give you that information, whether or not this person's come back to you. I'm telling you stuff that you're doing in the midst of you being in love and things that you're doing in your life that needs to be cleaned up. Okay, versus it's time coming back. Sometimes you going back. You're the ones always going back for some of you that I see in all the readings, And it's not so much as saying that person's coming back to you, and it could be, you know. That's why I say you have to do a personal reading for one on one so that I can actually see your specific path, exactly what's going on with you. Because this is a whole for all Virgos and for all zodiac signs when I actually do them. So it's not a money grab, but like I say, I do readings whenever I have time for it, and whenever I have the time for it, it always not always. Sometimes it changes up, and sometimes it's on repeat because some people don't get out of what they're in. They don't leave the switching it in. If you know Tom is beating you, and Tom ended up to the point where I said, "Oh, there goes Tom. Tom is in prison now. Why is Tom in jail? Because you didn't leave Tom alone, and now you sitting 6 feet deep." Okay, Virgos, I'm back. I guess you guys will have an interruption. I guess someone will get you to try to fix on something. Or you may have to fix on something. Something may break down, maybe your car or truck or RV. And I'm not trying to say this stuff as a bad luck thing. I'm just saying it as a warning. So be cautious of get maintenance done to your car. Be cautious of what's going on with your vehicles or things around your house. Make sure you'll be able to stay ahead of it before it actually crashed, and then you're upset. You're like, now I try to figure out how to come up with someone to fix this or something like that. So just be cautious of that interruption that I had to deal with when it still doesn't work. So be careful if someone fixes something and it still is not working like you want it to work. With some of you guys could be dealing with air signs. You could be dealing with a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini. And you guys could be dealing with energy where you feel like you constantly have to always do something and repeat over and over again the same thing for this person, or a person has to do it for you, vice versa. You may be in a petty argument with this person. You may feel like you have all of this and I want what you have and you got all the mines. Vice versa, you could be dealing with a fire sign as well. Some of you guys, I feel like you are, how can I say, you're rushing out to buy a car, or you may have places that you have to go, but you're rushing to get there. So you might have a lot of things on your list that you have to do, Virgos. And I feel like a lot of you guys are rushing, trying to get everything done, trying to be in more than one place at one time. And usually mothers are like that in all zodiac signs. So, but I feel like that's a more energy that is more heavy on your side, and that's probably why it's coming through. As to say that take a woosah and calm down. At peace be still. I always say that peace be still when I'm stressed out and I got too many things to do, so that I can just, actually manage what's going on around me. For some of you Virgos, this is your past. I'm trying to go into your present, your future. For some of you Virgos, you feel like you were left out in the cold. Some of you guys could be wanting to give up on a house where you're trying to keep it up, or you might try to walk away from a house or apartment where you're trying to pay the bills, but it's all on you for some of you Virgos, or you feel like it is too stressful to try to pay bills when the house is not fit for living. It may look like on the outside it's worth, and inside it may be crumbling and falling down. It needs up care and needs taken care of. Or some of you guys are taking care of a person who needs your assistance, and it may be more than one person that you're taking care of that has a handicap or disability, needs a crutch or need wheelchair assistance. But I feel like this is something that you just want to walk away from and leave it all behind. Or you may be told that you have to get out and leave it all behind. So you might be having it just as a job, and it probably pays your bills and take care of your family, but you may feel like you have to let it go because it's driving you slap crazy. Or it could be that you have to call M&Ms or rescue squad for one of your patients who may need assistance. This person may have fallen or injured themselves, and maybe you have to call for assistance. Or you could be just worn out and tired and just feel like, okay, I don't drop you and I'm sorry because I'm just tired. So that's why I say don't try to take on more than one thing, because you could have accidents, or you could cause someone else to have accidents because you're being too stressed out with this thing here, what says you've taken on more than what you need or have. Or you may be here living in a crowded house and you can't get around, and because of the fact that you can't get around, it could be some clumsiness going on because you can't go from 2 for 2 because it's too much stuff on the floor, too much stuff, too many people in the house, everybody doing certain this, doing that, and it's causing a bunch of stress. So as I said, declutter yourself so that you do not feel like you are going to sacrifice yourself in the house, okay? Some of you are dealing with a water sign. She could be an older person, but I feel like some of you guys are just having dreams or sitting back thinking about the old days or something like that. Some of you guys may need to go to the doctor. You may need to be, like I said, you could need some woosah and detoxify your body, or you need to go somewhere where you can just feel like someone is mothering you and see your problems. You need someone to see you and see you and tend to you, instead of you always seeing others taking care of other people, being the doctor, being the nurse, being the caregiver, being the caretaker for someone else. For some of you Virgos who is doing that, you probably need some woosah for yourself, Virgos. Um, for some of you guys, I feel like you're trying to hurry up and usher yourself to court. I feel like for some of you guys, you are uh paying good money for a lawyer, paying good money for a court case or something that's dealing with a court case for a family court or something like that. Some of you guys are feeling like somebody's either rushing in on you or you may be rushing in on someone else. I feel like somebody in your family, I feel like you're trying to establish your family will. But I also feel like for some of you guys, you're just, how can I say, I want to say you're holding on your money too tight. You're not willing to share your money with people. I feel like you're just being stingy with your money for some of you Virgos. I feel like some of your family members are asking for money and you're like, no, I'm keeping it for myself. I also feel like if things that needs to be tended to your house or something like that, I feel like you're not putting the money into it. I feel like you're just putting the money and like being stingy with your money, but as you know, the old saying goes, you can't take it with you. So I would say for some of you Virgos, be mindful of that. For some of you Virgos, you could be going on a date with someone who really don't like you, but at the same time, they want you to spend that luxury money. Or you could be leaving your date with the person who works at the restaurant. Or you could be knowing somebody at the restaurant and you have a hookup with that person and they give you a deal when you go out on a date with the person. So you don't have to actually spend that much money. So it looks like you spend a lot of money and yeah, it is not. So the person might say, oh, I'm going to beat them out of some money. I'm going to get them. But in reality, you may have a discount card that you're using and where you don't actually have to pay for the food. So I feel like for some of you Virgos, you taking the person to a fabulous restaurant or you spending money. But in reality, it's like you paid for it with food stamps. So hard like that, okay? Or you paid for it with your Medicaid card. You know what I'm saying? You know, little wellness cards, you probably pay for it like that. So somewhere or another, you paid for somebody something with a discount. Or you went to the food bank and got some food and cooked somebody a dinner. You're like, yeah, we'll have dinner at my house, but you made it cheap. You won't spend the money because you really don't know that person. Some of you guys are dealing with a dog that's your best friend, and you probably just got a dog. You love the dog, but the dog is probably a tech dog. Him and you don't get along. He like the mama more than he like you, or something like that. For some of you guys, you could have been having a birthday party for yourself, or someone else had to do a birthday party for you, and you really appreciate that. You're really surprised about the party for some of you guys. Some of you guys feel like you got to pay child support, or someone probably told you if you did pay child support that you may be going to jail, or someone probably wants you to pay back some money or go to jail, Virgos. So for some of you guys, it's something dealing with money and children. Some kind of another, you may have to pay back some money for that. So be mindful of that Virgo energy. Whatever's going on with that, be mindful of paying back some money. Some of you guys could be in a car and distracted and you know how you're on the phone talking to your wife at home or your husband at home, and then you see someone on the side of the road and distracts you, and you end up wrecking your car. So be mindful of distractions. Pay attention to what you're doing, Virgos. It's up to you. It's your life, your free will. I'm just giving advice. Be cautious if you don't want to pay for that car. This was the Shauna's made for insights. I'm telling you, if you're driving reckless, you're going to have a wreck and you have to pay out money. Your insurance company is going to jack your insurance up and you have to pay out money. So be mindful of walking around. Some of you guys are dumpster diving. Some of you guys are getting food from trash versus like going to the store and spending money. You have the money to spend, but you rather get the cheap way by going to these food banks and stuff and getting some food. For some of you Virgos, you probably going to pick enough food that you don't need to be in the line to get. Let those people who needs that get it, because once again, for some of you Virgos, you are hoarders and you're hogging up all the food from everybody else. You're getting in places where you don't need to be. You at church funds, you at this, you at that. When you're getting all this stuff to put up in your house just to sit there and rot even more than what it is. Does it make sense? Make it make sense. Why? Because you don't want to feel left out on something. If you have the money to buy it, buy it. Don't just throw your money at people who strippers or who comes to your house and sit with your parents and you just feed them for an itch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. I'm not joking. I'm actually saying serious. This is things that actually goes on with people. Some of you guys may feel like you have no real control over your grandkids. Some of you guys want full control over your grandkids. But I feel like you guys may have papers that say that you have control or have the power, but at the same time, you know deep down in your spirit, you feel like these kids are not mine. What am I doing? This is like a dream. What am I thinking? So I feel like you're thinking like, this is a waste of time for some of you guys. I feel like you're thinking like that, and some of you guys will feel like, oh, but I gotta get it. I gotta do it. It's my money bank. Um, Someone may make a prediction to you, and it may come. You may discover later on that it's true, but I feel like you may feel like it's not true. So I feel like you want to know the truth about something. So some of you guys may get readings, or you may find out some information that someone tell you that is true, but I feel like you don't want to know it. But some of you guys, you could be actually taking care of your dad, or you're taking care of your husband, but this person could be sick or something in advance. You have to take care of them, or it could be their birthday and you just cater to them. Vice versa, it could be that it's your birthday and it brings you up at best and bad because it's your birthday. Because this is September, right? Yep, we're finna go into Libra season, but this is also still Virgo. But happy birthday, Virgos! I forgot to tell you guys happy birthday in the other video, but happy birthday, Virgos. Sorry about that. Okay, some of you guys maybe have an agent who's investigating you, so maybe you got stuff in your house, so maybe you get investigated. So be careful and be mindful of being investigated, Virgos. It could be that you are investigating other people when you have their children or you have kids, or you could be somebody who goes around and snoop around, and so you can see what kids you can take. You might be the snatcher, snatcher for some of you Virgos. All Virgos be aware of someone coming around and trying to snatch your kids, but I see that heavy amongst a lot of Virgos I'm talking to that want kids really bad. Some of you guys may have never had any kids, and you might be doing the most for kids. Always understand that the Bible says Jesus walked in Jesus' footsteps. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you do things accordingly to what is blocking you and you try to avoid that block, then understand that when you have children or you taking care of kids and you raising somebody else to be somebody, you have to make sure the words and the things that you do to these kids are perfect. And the reason why I say that, you can't speak around them ill. You can't speak about their parents ill. You can't do all kind of wrong things in front of these children, because if you're doing ill things around these kids, they will pick it up and you mold that child to be those people. So that's all come back onto you as your character, okay? So when you do that, that means that's more sin added to your character in life that you have to deal with, that may keep you out of kingdom of heaven, okay? So be mindful and understand what you do in this world. That if you're so hard for children, okay, if something is blessing you to keep you from having children, you are seriously blessed to not even have any. And you may feel like that's a curse, that's a lie. The truth is the devil is a lie. That's not how life goes. The reason why I said that it's a blessing to not having any children, it's because you don't have to give accountability for how you were as a mom or how you was as a dad with the children. But if you are a mom and you are a dad and you do not raise these kids right, and you say things and you go on, like I say, earth signs have a tendency to be self. And when you have a tendency to think about yourself, you good when you don't have any. But once you have kids, like my cousin and the other girl I grew up with, they have all about self. The Virgos was all about me. My cousin will leave that house and leave those children in the house. Just like a Taurus. My sister is a Taurus. She would go off and leave those children in the house and they was little to tend to themselves. But all before it, oh, I want a baby, I want a baby, I want a baby. She got that first child, it came out deflected. And oh my God. Virgo's the same way. My friend, she was like, one day I'm going to have a children. We're going to have marriage. It's always painting this picture when you talk to somebody. You know how you get in a relationship with somebody and you talk real good. We're going to have a family. We're going to do this and we're going to do this in the future wise. We can't wait for the future house. And then you end up having sex with a guy and don't have no future with the person. For some of you. And then some of you just get pregnant and realize that this person here is not ready for a future that fast. Okay? He was all like, seemed like he was about to roll the boat with you for a long time. And then all of a sudden he realized that, oh no, I didn't know the baby's gonna really come. I wasn't ready for that. I'm still young. No. You was young at 11 and 9 and 10 and 8 and 7. Right? Your body has become a man at 11 and 12. So it's time for you to buckle up and ride out. And see, a lot of American people in the United States are not raised to be grown people. They're raised to be babies till they're 21 or 25. So when they're called babies, that keeps playing in their head that they don't have to be responsible for nothing because they are just babies. So when they're acting like that, you still have people who goes through stuff and says, "Oh, I didn't know this really happens. Oh, I can't handle it." So that's why I say you have to be mindful, very mindful of all the things that you're doing, because all that is categorized as sin or something that you have to pay the price for that. When you go meet Judgment Day, not to be a preacher, not to put you on this God level, but the strong insights of how we live every day, what you need to know when you out here trying to get people kids, you have to give accountable of how those children are molded and everything they hear, everything they say and do. That's on you. For 12 years of their life, everything they do and say for 12 years is accountability towards you. So that's like you going to courthouse and the judge says, Miss Mary Jones, come up to the stand right now. And you're like, yes, ma'am. Also, Miss Mary, you have 5 kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, and 2 of your kids have blah blah someone. 2 of your kids have X someone. And the other 3 of your kids has rob people houses and convenience stores. Do you know that? Yes, I do. So, do you know that these kids did this? My kids are innocent. They didn't do it. Well, ma'am, we have them on videotape. Those were my kids. They didn't do anything. You standing there lying for your kids. You trying to have your back for your kids. You trying to show support to your children. Does that make any sense? Huh? Now, you'll be responsible for those children because they're under the age of 18 in the United States. In the reality of the Bible, it says 12 when they become man and woman at 12 or 11, 12, whatever age they become puberty. So now the law says that at 18, you are responsible for those children until they're 18 years old. So now this law of the world tells you that because your children have murdered and has robbed people, that you are now responsible for that. So now that you have to go to jail for your children, not your sins, but your children's sins. So you got 5 heads of people that you have to pay the consequences of their actions. Does that make sense to you? Not to distract you, saying you don't want to have kids. It's your free will. Some people are tough, and as you can see, this world is full of people. It got 7.1 billion people here, so of course a lot of people they don't see it like that. They just feel like, hey, it is what it is. I'll ride or die for my children. I'll da 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 da. No, that's how it is. But in reality of it, a lot of these parents now are going to jail for the sins of their children. A lot of these kids are doing things in schools, and what happened to school says now you have to go to for your child. And they're looking like, what? What happened? That's not right. That's not fair. Oh, well, nobody couldn't tell you nothing. You feel like you could do what you want to do with your body. And you feel like you could be a good parent. You feel like you could teach your kids how to shh. And you feel like you're supposed to have something to protect your home. You feel like you're supposed to have the right to da-da-da-da. So there go your rights. And that's what happens, consequences of your rights and not God. You choose that versus God. You had lack of faith, but you in church every Sunday, though. Does it make sense? So you go to church very faithfully and you're sitting there bringing cookies and doing little book sales and having a little fried fish sales on Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays. You out there doing the most for the churches. But you really don't believe in God. Because you still got, your things inside the house talking about, I wish a person would, you wish they would try you with God. Because God can turn a hurricane and a tornado up in a minute. And he could flip a tree over a person just walking through the streets. That's what he could do. But you're trusting in your weapons to do what you need them to do. Okay? So Virgo, I'm about to end the reading because I don't got this all together on you guys. Hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm going to keep on going a little bit more because I forgot to do this. I want to see something. Okay, Virgos, for some of you guys, you could be feeling like you're tired and worn out. You could be dealing with a husband who makes you feel like you're still back in them days where you have to be unto your husband, where he just make you iron his clothes and cook and clean up, and he doesn't really show you any affections, any kind of real appreciation of what you do to them. For some of you Virgos, I feel like if you are in this verse where you want to give up on somebody, you just had enough, you're tired, and you want to walk away from this person. Some of you guys are walking away from someone who's yelling and fussing at you in arguments, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I'm done with this. For some of you Virgos, you're dealing with a pet and a dog who has a lot of gas, and it's getting on your nerves because every time you turn around, he just keep passing gas. For some of you Virgos, you are just entertaining. You love your dogs to death. You are on social media. You could be a digital art person who creates nothing but digital art with you have a pet, and you're ideal pet. You know, he's your idol, shall I say. He's something that you always making like digital art about your pet. Some of you Virgos, I think your kids are probably trying to tell you that you need to take a bath. For some of you Virgos, and I feel like you probably wait a long time before you take a bath. And I feel like some of your kids are like, what is that smell? Like, is this how you supposed to smell? Because you know how kids are blunt with their mouth. So I feel like some of you Virgos are dealing with certain kids who feels like you are so busy with social media, or you so busy trying to handle certain things that you forget to watch for like a couple of weeks or so. For some of you Virgos, so I would say Virgos, hey, let's get in that shower, clean it up, and shave your head. For some of the men, you need to shave. For some of the women, you need to shave probably all over if you want to. That's your choice. But if you don't shave all over, you need to keep it fresh. You know, get it some bleach if you don't keep it fresh like that. If you don't shave, shall I say, get it some bleach. I'm just saying, you don't have to get in bleach. It's up to you how you want to keep your body clean, because you know certain things may give you irritation. I'm just joking and book up around. But for some of you Virgos, you may not have apartments where it's suitable for 5 kids or 6 kids. So some of you guys may have a lot of kids that sleep in the bed with you guys, but you're still on social media like you got it going on. For some of you Virgos, for some of you Virgos, change the sheets on the bed. The sheets and stuff is probably not fresh, probably due to the kids that you have in the bed. That's probably wet in the bed, so therefore the sheets on the bed is not good. For some of you Virgos, your house needs to be cleaned up. You have kids that are just messing up, and you're on social media, and you turn your social media into a club scene, but your kids are not getting to their homeworks, they're not getting to their chores, or they're not eating on time. So be focused a little bit on your kids, Virgo. As I said before with retards, sometimes earth signs have a tendency to be like me, me, me. But some of you Virgos, I feel like you're dealing with someone who has a lifestyle of, babe, where the food stamps due, babe. You know, what you gonna go to work today, babe? And your baby probably like, oh no, we could go out there and hustle. I'm gonna do dash tonight and get a little bit of money, and you go out and get a little sack and flip that sack and turn. You know what I'm saying? It's something like somewhere where you guys are living this life of a hood, right? Where you may be a mixed couple, where she might be one culture and you another culture, but you guys feel like, hey, we having all these babies and we stay in a hotel and we just living, or vice versa. You see someone who's living like that, and you feel like you could be the superhero when you still living like, still living under the table yourself, which means that you may have a nice house, but you're not keeping it up like it's supposed to. So some of you Virgos, you know, some of your Virgos could be dealing with somebody where they feel like you're not watching their kids, you're not taking care of those kids. They feel like you're more interested in taking care of your boyfriend, making sure that he have Nike shoes or expensive clothes, and you're not getting it. But some of you Virgos, you could be dealing with an injury where the baby daddy feels like he had to pay child support, and you're not taking care of the kids when he paid child support, or you're not allowing him to see the kids, and he paid child support and he take care of his kids. So someone may be feeling like they don't get to see their children. For some of you Virgos, you could be dealing with someone where you have to go take them food, and they'll probably just, it could be a child, a teenager child, or a child that's older adults who constantly just on substance and won't get a job, won't change their life, won't clean up their life. And so you may have to go take them something, and every time you give them money, they go out and buy substance or alcohol instead of getting on their feet. For some of you Virgos, you might need to change what you're doing, because you might go to the big house if they find out, discover this little hole in the ground you got. I'm just saying. I thought I'd throw that in there, even though I'm supposed to be on the raw on it. So that's all I see for you Virgos for right now. I thought I had to throw that in. So also be nice to those children. Don't be rough with those kids up, and don't be causing yourself to get a charge. For some of you Virgos, you could be looking at your ultrasounds. You could be pregnant, and some of you guys could be disappointed because you're not pregnant. Also be mindful of your children dealing with fire. Make sure you watch what they're doing. You don't want them to be burnt down. So some of you Virgos could be trying to start new remedies of getting healthy, and some of you Virgos could be drinking all your problems away, as I said before. So be mindful of drinking your problems away, that you don't end up in a place where it says, yeah, it's not a home, okay? So be mindful. Pay your taxes, Virgos. If you haven't paid your taxes, you could be having somebody to come and say, hey, we're going to collect. If you have a house they have to clean up, Virgos, clean it up. You could get your house condemned, okay? If you got people coming in your house, they could say your house needs to be cleaned up to the point where it could be condemned. All right, Virgos, this has to be in your read. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And for those of you who need personal reading, you can email me. In the description boxes, you'll see where I have my email address that you can inbox me until I get a website. And if you're afraid to email me, then just keep watching the free ones. The free ones, I put a lot of information in that too, until I get a Patreon channel. hopefully I get enough people. If not, you